Movie explained here, today. I've Delivered is a 2021 South Korean romantic comedy movie. Primarily based totally at the novel, titled Sweet and Sour, it follows the story of a faced with real-world opportunities and challenges. A pair endures the highs and lows of trying to make a long-distance relationship survive. Spoiler ahead, Sweet and Sour, which was released on Netflix 2021. Hyuk is hospitalized with hepatitis B while the other sufferers, in addition to his very own dad and mom, keep their distance. Nurse Da-yoon ignores them and willingly looks after him. As time is going, with the aid of using, Hyuk and Da-yoon develop nearer, with the overworked Da-yoon even eating and resting on his hospital bed, a few days earlier than Hyuk might be discharged from the hospital. Da-yoon seems to be distant. The downcast Hyuk returns home, but, being not able to forget Da-yoon, he manages to discover her phone number and offers her a call. She eventually invitations him to return back over to her house, and he remains the night time. In the morning, Da-yoon wakes as much as locate that Hyuk changed the broken lamp in her hallway and prepared breakfast for the two of them. Touched with the aid of using the gestures, they proportion a short kiss. After a even as, Da-yoon tells Hyuk that she received tickets to Jeju Island for Christmas, and she or he invitations him to enroll in her. Da-yoon buys them matching shoes, which he thankfully accepts, hell-bent on dropping weight. In the following scene, we see a slender Hyuk strolling in the park carrying the same sneakers, a difficult running engineer. He's quickly advised with the aid of using his superior that he may be dispatched to a large company in Seoul. This method that there may be a long commute from Incheon to Seoul, and that if he does nicely he is probably granted a permanent function on the firm. However, on his first day, he reveals out there's some other candidate, which means that he might now no longer be guaranteed a permanent function on the stop of his contract. The different candidate, Bo-young, seems to be very competitive, frequently undermining him to make herself look higher in the eyes in their advanced. At a board meeting in which the group presents a brand new bridge design based on a suggestion with the aid of using Bo-young, Hyuk points out that there's an important flaw in the design that might result in a collapse if the bridge might ever be hit with the aid of using a tsunami. A humiliated Bo-young is advised to restoration the trouble together with Hyuk. While Hyuk leaves early, she works during the night time without taking a rest. At the begin, Hyuk takes satisfaction in seeing her suffer. However, he eventually takes pity on her, and that they become operating together to fix the trouble. They start bonding, and that they continue operating on extra projects together. Meanwhile, a few stresses displaying on the connection of Hyuk and Da-yoon, with each of them often working late and Hyuk turning into an increasing number of frustrated at having to commute among Incheon and Seoul. He typically comes home worn out and shows little interest in Da-yoon. One nighttime whilst he comes home, Da-yoon complains about him now no longer having fixed the broken mild bulb and his refusal to take out the trash. When they begin arguing, she tells him that she hasn't had her period, and it seems that she is expecting his child, which she aborts later on. Rather than being pleased, it appeared to frustrate Hyuk even extra. As he realizes he has emotions for Bo-young, he starts to distance himself from her and focuses on Da-yoon. However, this subsequently starts to affect his work. Bo-young confronts him and tells him that each in their overall performance will suffer. Hyuk concurs to paintings past due, and he begins off evolve doing overtime again, leaving Da-yoon by myself at home. One evening, Da-yoon and Hyuk have been visible going out together. Hyuk shows no interest in spending time with Da-yoon and constantly complains approximately the gang and time, and again says that he wants to eat and cross home. Back in the car, Da-yoon complains that Hyuk in no way desires to spend time together along with her anymore. Hyuk brushes it off and by accident calls her his pretty Bo-young. They get right into a large argument in which he denies Da-yoon's claims that he is dishonest on her. He eventually drops her off at their as soon as shared house as he drives off in a fury. Back in Seoul, Bo-young and Hyuk are over again working extra time, with all their time spent together and the step-by-step developing sexual anxiety among each of them. Hyuk kisses Bo-young. Both of them sooner or later get romantically involved, after or at the same time as Hyuk turns into restless and looks to be longing for Da-yoon again, when neither Bo-young or himself is offered a permanent function through the firm. Hyuk tells Bo-young on the firm's group dinner that he's going to go back to his previous position in Incheon. She in turn tells him that she can be able to look at overseas as her old task is also now no longer an everlasting contract. In the history, the group manager announces that they are able to win a free Christmas journey to Jeju. Hyuk, hearing this, thinks of the Jeju journey he changed into Imagine to cross on with Da-yoon that Christmas. Coincidentally, their flight was intended to be that very evening. Realizing he nonetheless loves Da-yoon, he rushes to the airport in a taxi. As he pulls up on the airport, He sees Da-yoon's status at the sidewalk in the front of the airport building. Jumping out of the taxi, he sees her supposedly waving at him. He runs closer to her, however bumps into a person and falls over. The man he ran into seems to be the Hayek shown in the first part of the movie. The scene is the identical one from in advance when Da-yoon gave the matching pair of sneakers. It is found out that the Hayek from the beginning of the movie is a special Hayek than the only from the main part of the movie. Both storylines happened simultaneously, and it seems Da-yoon bonded with Hayek while she felt unnoticed with the aid of using her associate Jang Hayek. And because he did all of the matters Jang Hayek did not do, consisting of solving the light bulb. Both of them go away at the journey for Jeju even as Jang Hayek returns to the celebration in shock. Bo-young later reveals to him that she had simply won the Christmas journey to Jeju and that they might cross together. And, despite his emotions for Da-yoon, he tells Bo-young he loves her. In case you find this video beneficial, then subscribe and share in your friends and press the bell button. Thanks for watching.